G'day fellas, welcome to a casted game between Give You Anxiety, who spawns in the northwest of the map, and his opponent, who spawns opposite him in the southeast of the map. It is MarineLord. Now this is probably the very first French mirror that I think I've ever casted, so I'm looking forward to seeing exactly how it unfolds, what kind of strategies we're going to see here. I have been breaking down a lot of French gameplay recently. They've got a couple of different openings that they can do, or at least that we're starting to see. And I do suspect on a map like this, which is high view, that it's probably going to involve a little bit more booming than anything, just because it is quite easy to get walls in. Over here you can see that it's very easy to wall across here, wall down here. You've got a natural wall segment up over this way as well. So it's very easy to get those sort of defensive walls in. And anytime there's a defensive wall, it's always, quite easy to boom. But at the same time, it's quite open towards each other's bases, so something to note. Take a look over towards MarineLord's base. He's already expanding out towards that gold. Some players have been doing some curious openings as well. I've been watching some Casfa as he's playing French. He actually does an early stone, where he gets 2 villages out on stone for his early 2 TC. But we'll take a look over at GUA, see what he's up to. GUA doing the exact same thing. We notice that these players are putting their house exactly on top of their mining camp, and this is exactly how you want to be doing it. You don't want to really be doing it any different from this, primarily because once it gets to the late game, you're going to need the most compact base as possible. And by having your house next to your mining camp, it really just saves space, keeps things all next to each other nice and neat. Alright, so let's take a look down how GUA is doing. Doing a bit of scouting, curious scouting path as well. So he's sent a few of his sheep in. You can see he's got them underneath his town, so it looks like he's got about 4 sheep sitting there. And as a result, he can actually go on a longer scouting path. So typically, what you're going to be seeing between players is, wow, that is a lot of sheep as well there. Normally, you've got that one sheep that you've got that starts right here, and then you've got like one sheep down here, a second sheep out there, and you bring those in, and then you go and do your scouting path. Whether you head into this top corner and then come back to your TC, that sort of thing. But GUA actually found a 3rd sheep a little bit out from his town center, so that meant that he's able to do this longer scouting path. We can see him down here to the south, continuing to scout, looking for those extra sheep. But do note, MarineLord sounds like he's picked up a lot. Looks like he's got the triple up to the north, and undoubtedly would have picked up the triple. Or it looks like a triple, but he did have 8. I think he had 8 sheep earlier underneath his town center, so I do suspect he's picked up all the sheep on the map, essentially. So probably finding, maybe he found, 3 out here. He's found 3 up on the north side. Looks like he's going to pick up one of GUA's as well. Probably going to pick up a second one of GUA's right here as well. GUA going to be opening with that second stone mine as well. Or second mining camp going down for the stone. Going to be losing that sheep any second. MarineLord's going to come up there and say thank you. There it goes, running off to MarineLord. And GUA should pick that up, that his stone has indeed been scouted. You can see the line of sight there from the scout. Going to be spotting that now. MarineLord's going to know that. That is exactly what he's going to be looking out for. He's going to see that GUA's gathered only 100 gold, and he's not going to be really interested in gathering any more gold. So probably not thinking too much about a fast castle, but keep in mind these 2 players are playing the French. Curious build order happening here. So MarineLord has identified, and this is exactly what I love to see right here, is this is where the difference in builds begin. Okay, GUA has said, you know what, that's fine. We're going to go for a fast second TC. This is a dangerous game against France, and a MarineLord has realized this. We can already see just how many villages MarineLord has pulled off these sheep down here and brought them across. He was initially building this landmark with 2. He spots out the stone and he begins and moves 3 villages over straight away. So already we begin seeing that amazing decision-making process begin, just based on scouting information. One of the things that happens in AoE 4 is we do have that scouting information is so key in this game. If you don't scout what your opponent is doing, you're going to be absolutely clueless. You're not going to know what to do, not going to know how to counter your enemy, and as a result, it means that you're going to be in a very difficult position. MarineLord going to be coming back to his base with a nice haul of sheep, picking up that triple-double, as well as those 2 outside of his opponent's base. Units coming off now. MarineLord going to be going with a little more of a delayed town center, but I do like the fact that he sped this up. This is a very early age up. He's going to be delaying his town center slightly, but I really like this because he's going to have his Royal Knight in queue straight away. Okay, and we already see the Royal Knight heading over to the hunt. And now, you know why it's heading over to the hunt? You can see the direction that it's heading there, all the way over towards that hunt. And the reason why is because that is the typical place you're going to see players fast expanding. typically you won't see players expanding up onto their berries, even if there's a nice safe wood line behind it. They will be expanding out towards their hunt. And look exactly who we have coming out right here to expand towards his hunt. So GUA going to be in a bit of a difficult spot. That first knight now going to be coming out towards GUA. MarineLord going to be scouting out, seeing that the landmark has been completed. Has that town center gone down just yet? It looks like the town center is getting built as we speak. We see those villagers are on it, but the knight heading out. GUA going to run just in. I think he would have spotted that. He's probably going to know now that the he's going to be in a bit of strife, but he's actually taking out deer carcasses and not hitting this town center when he needs to be, sending out a couple of additional villagers here, which is the right choice. He needs to get this up sooner rather than later. That knight is going to be coming in very shortly. And the question is, was MarineLord's decision-making process to actually go for that early knight and try and get it out extra quick worth it? 2 more villagers going to be coming out here, and it definitely looks like MarineLord is going to be able to come in here, focusing down the first villager. 1 villager kill, 100% going to be going down here. The second villager going to be going down right away as well. Third villager now coming out as well for MarineLord. He's looking to chase away that 1 villager, but it looks like he realizes the TC is going to get up. GUA are having the foresight to know that that was coming and sending out those extra vills. And to be honest with you, it actually cost him, or saved him significantly. If he did not send those extra villagers out, so he sent 2, and then he sent, I think it was an extra 2 more, and then maybe another 1. I think there was 5 villagers, and then there was a total of 10 that came out, because 2 went down. If he didn't do that, he probably didn't get this town center up, in all seriousness, because the TC has, it's built significantly faster. MarineLord already having a great numbers advantage here compared to his opponent. I really like this build order coming out from MarineLord here, just having this early aggression against your opponent. If you've got any potential villagers that are out on the extremities, just like these ones right here, this is just a guaranteed kill down here, because when these knights charge in, you can see they've got their big lances out coming in. There's going to be at least 2 vills that go down here. There's the first one that goes down. Second one going to be getting triple hit right now. There it goes. And look, this knight gets away, and this is the crazy thing about France. This knight gets away on 35 HP. Well, guess what? MarineLord is probably going to be researching. Yep, there it is. Chivalry coming in right now. So for anybody unfamiliar with the chivalry technology, it is a unique technology to the French, and it generates 1 health for every knight that's out of combat every second. So that means as long as he's out of combat, he's going to be regenning that health. So it means that he's able to dive underneath this town center, take a lot of damage, kill villagers guaranteed, because he has that lance that comes in and automatically kills those vills because it's a double shot. Here we go. 1, 2. All of these vills are going to come in. You can see this knight is now going to be tanking the town center fire. GUA going to be losing even more villagers here. So plenty of vills going down. This knight gets away. 86, 81 HP. It's going to continue taking those shots. It's got that 3 armor down to 47 HP. And you can see just how little HP is on these units. But then all of a sudden, here comes Chivalry to save the day. Now GUA is continuing to wall up around the map. Looking to put up double layers of walls and really get this secured, but keep in mind, okay, his opponent right now is dropping his second TC, okay? And when you really weigh up the difference between the early game pressure that MarineLord has had here, he's had amazing scouting and really spotted out all of his enemies' villages, been able to pick off plenty of them. He's currently sitting on 33 villagers. Compare that over to GUA, who's sitting on 33 as well. And so really it's you start to wonder, was it worth it for GUA to go for such an early town center like that, knowing he's in a French matchup, knowing how dangerous it is for his enemy to be opening with a school of cavalry, knowing that the reason why, and often people will ask me, why is the school of cavalry just so dangerous? Why do you have to respect this so much? The reason why is because your enemy, if they don't have the school of cavalry, all right, how long does it take for you to construct a stable, okay? It takes 30 seconds, all right? It costs 150 wood, 30 seconds. That's a 30-second head start that your French opponent is getting on you. A 30-second head start. So you really need to respect that. And now continuing to see those heals coming in. Going to be walking into the wood line. Another villager going to be going down from MarineLord. Very happy with that. He walks away. Very happy. But now an opposing raid going to be happening from GUA, looking to out APM his opponent. It's going to be tough for him. We already see that score lead beginning to build for MarineLord, up about 200 points at this point. But yeah, significant lead for him. And now, back in the base of GUA, he's got some spears out. So opening with the barracks here. And that is obviously the correct choice when people, wonder what is the unit that counters the Royal Knight. It is indeed the spear, but at the same time, there is a caveat there. The caveat is that the spears outnumber the Royal Knights, and as you can see right here, GUA reacting to those knights, bringing his villagers back in, forcing a lot of idle time. I would love to see just a nice little wall right here from GUA. Just 20 wood in here would be absolutely perfect, prevent all that idle time from happening, because that's going to continue to happen as we see right here. Potentially loses a villager right here, doesn't lose a villager but goes idle. Already lost at least 20 wood just from his idle time right now. And so that nice little wall would just prevent that from happening, would force MarineLord to come around it, and then subsequently he would not be able to push in. But I'm curious to see whether GUA picks that up. We take a look down towards the middle of the map, and GUA getting chased around. His Royal Knight is getting chased continually. More Royal Knights coming in from the side to flank, but they all just joined the conga line and look to celebrate. A couple of spears now coming to look out and potentially strike. You see them getting into that stand ground and holding their spears up, but really not doing a lot, and unfortunately getting completely outnumbered. It looks like I think there was one cavalry unit. No, in fact, no cavalry units actually went down there. So you can just see how strong Royal Knights are, especially in their high numbers. You really have to be careful with your spearmen. Do not underestimate the power of how strong these guys are. And look at the numbers now beginning to build. And this is what makes it so difficult to deal with, because you can see them healing at the same time. So you know that irrespective, and a couple villagers going down there. GUA missing the beat on, I think, one villager, unfortunately. But now the villager lead probably going to be beginning to build. 49 villagers for GUA. Compare that to MarineLord, who's on 53 at the moment. So now the economic lead going to be building for him. And French really demonstrating why they are so strong. GUA actually going with a triple barracks right now. So this triple barracks is his effective counter. Now, the question is, does MarineLord see this? He sees 3 barracks down. We don't actually know if he's scouted this out. He might think that they're stables or archery ranges. There is quite a short range on the, or quite a short line of sight on these spears, but this is more than enough spears here to at least cause a few losses. MarineLord could probably take this out quite effectively, but he'd have to micro very intensively. That is probably bordering on too many spears. 12 hardened spearmen, 7 Royal Knights, and now it gets a little bit hard. And you see MarineLord just being so cheeky, trying to come in, get these trades onto the spears, run away, and at the same time when the spears then run away, he turns around and then begins trading into them. He's got to be careful. One knight goes down. Looks like the scout is probably going to get lost here as well, taking a couple of pokes, but managing to survive. Royal Knights now going to continue out for GUA, and we actually see a 3rd town center going to be coming down now for MarineLord. He loves to do this, and you can see just how well he's macroing right now. It's looking absolutely immaculate. We don't see any +1 upgrade out for him just yet. A house going to be going down. MarineLord looking absolutely impeccable. Double archery range coming out. So realizing that his enemy is making a significant number of spearmen, and this is a bit of a difficult spot in my opinion for any non-French civilization or non-Rus player, just because, well, any civ that doesn't get these early knights, is how do you actually counter this? How do you counter early knights like this, the early knights that MarineLord's gotten, into archers? Double archery range in particular, and normally what you see is a follow-up with a ram. Just 1 or 2 rams is more than enough to push underneath that town center. It doesn't actually look like we're going to be seeing that, though. It looks like we might actually be getting some arbalètrier coming out. I apologize. Knights now going to be diving in behind the wood line, picking up a couple more villagers. Another one going to be out here, so it looks like 2 villagers going down and a 3rd one going out. Age up now going to be happening for MarineLord despite a 3rd TC. He is absolutely all over his enemy. And I love this playstyle from MarineLord. I think this is absolutely on point. The fact that he has made nothing but knights in the first age has kept his opponent in his base. A little bit of a quick wall coming down in here from GUA. Looks like he's going to be able to get those knights just through a couple of them heading out the back. 1 knight going to be going down, so a very worthwhile quick wall. Just taking out 1 knight is more than making that worth it. 240 resources going down. And GUA now looking to out multitask the MarineLord, but it looks like his knight has just... well, it doesn't have chivalry, so it makes it a bit more difficult. Town center going to be also triggering in the wolf and bringing that in. That's going to be annoying, the entire game having that fire, but I think he realizes... A couple of idle vills here. But MarineLord now up on 76 villagers at this point, and you can just see how impeccable his play is. 65, compare that to GUA. GUA not aging up either, so MarineLord has that age up in queue, going up with the Guild Hall, of course, which in my opinion is actually quickly becoming an S-tier landmark. Archer's now going to be coming out as well for MarineLord, forcing GUA back, and now MarineLord is in a significant lead. I'm curious to know exactly what GUA could do to get back into this game. He's invested a lot of resources into walls, a lot of resources into spears, but at the same time, he hasn't really done too much. So you can see, when it comes to the French mirrors, Even though a lot of people will roll their eyes and say, oh, a French mirror, you need to remember that there is a lot of variability in the way the civilization plays, and it definitely appears to me that the player that is on the aggressive is the player that is going to have the advantage, and primarily because you jump in, you kill those villagers, you jump out. That is simply how it works. You get this nice heal up happening. You can see 69 HP, very nice, and going to continue falling back now. He's got to be careful here. These Royal Knights are yet to receive their upgrades. We'll take a look in with MarineLord and see how he's going for upgrades. We see that veteran archer coming in, decarbonization coming through, double broadaxe coming through, getting all of his upgrades. Beautiful timing here for him. So really picking that economic timing for himself and doing a great job of just picking off these spears. And this is exactly why this combination is so strong, because now his opponent really needs to try and connect in here. But archers have actually got the same movement speed as spears do. So maybe that is a balanced point that we need to look at. Maybe we need to reduce the speed of archers or improve the speed of spears. But nonetheless, now going to be fighting out in the forest. A little bit dangerous for MarineLord. He needs to have a range advantage. He's fighting and kiting his way out of this forest and looking to try and get out without taking too many losses. We do see another crossbow, or rather another archer coming out and falling down, but now going to continue pushing up. GUA actually has a significant mass here. I do like this coming out from the American, but now he's got to be a bit more careful. We see 5 villagers entering into the outpost, and GUA realizing it's probably a little bit too much to commit to here. And I continue to like MarineLord's position at this point in time, sitting on 94 villagers at the moment. Plenty of villagers on wood. Going to be transitioning all of these villagers. I suspect he's probably just going to grab all of these and just turn them into farming villagers down towards the south. But now continuing to kite away. We actually see some horsemen going to be coming out for GUA, which are very effective against those veteran archers. And GUA really looking to connect with those archers, getting in amongst the action and having a difficult time because those archers are just going to continue kiting away. We see them picking off each spear one by one. And the Royal Knights have got them the larger mass. And you actually see the Royal Knights following. And MarineLord really wants to pick that fight. He's very happy with that fight. But I guess one of the issues that GUA has right now is, even though he continues to raid, I don't think he realizes his enemy is on 3 TC. I think he's probably thinking he's quite safe on 2 TC. And that he's, you know, in a good position. A little bit of a wolf getting in on the action there as well. But it's a very difficult spot to know how many TCs your enemy is on, especially when you've got maps like this, which lend themselves to be a little bit more difficult to scout. You can just see with all the natural barriers that are in here. But he does obviously spot the second TC down here towards the south, but undoubtedly going to expect him to have a little bit of trouble. GUA on 85 villagers at the moment, MarineLord on 99 villagers, so continuing to scale very effectively. He knows that he can't push into here. If he pushes into here, GUA gets the fight that he wants. So he just has to sort of sit back for the moment. It'd be probably a good idea if he looks to get an outpost up here. So for anybody wondering, an outpost will not see past a normal forest, but an outpost will see past a stealth forest. So just a single outpost, even just here, will see into this stealth forest and give him that line of sight, enable him to have that range, because if he doesn't have that, you look at his line of sight, he's literally operating at point blank range. He can just walk into spears at any point in time, and it looks like, oh my lord, he's just centimeters away from those spears. Oh my lord, it was so damn close. Wow, that was very lucky for MarineLord. He almost had a date with death, but fortunately managing to escape. Still plenty of food, or plenty of wood sitting in the bank at the moment, and GUA heading down towards the south. Another outpost up here for MarineLord. I do like this from him, providing plenty of line of sight, going to give him a lot of time to react, begin to move down here towards the south, and now we see those farms beginning to build up, and at the same time, 5 barracks is now going to be coming out from MarineLord. And what is this all about? Maybe some men-at-arms, potentially? Is that what he's thinking of? He's thinking of a transition into men-at-arms? I don't know exactly what that's about, but Outpost going to be burning to the ground. GUA just doing the damage, getting out of there, dabbing as he walks on out, and having a really good time. So far, GUA sitting on this boar in the middle of the map as well. Going to be collecting that up. 8 villagers on here is the key number. Let's see if these Royal Knights actually spot out. They have a shorter line of sight because they are actually up on the cliff. GUA pulls them back, but now realizes that he might have gotten out of here safe just because of that line of sight difference. If you have a look, there is a little bit of elevation right here. And as a result, that boar, which sits safely up on this cliff, is not going to get spotted out by those Royal Knights. So very good sort of game knowledge right there from GUA, realizing But obviously realizing that he's not going to be safe forever, so puts that outpost up. And now the ram timing begins. So the ram timing is really what forces your opponent's hand. It says, hey, you're going to need to fight me, and you're going to need to fight me right now. GUA now reaching the castle age. We'll take a look which landmark he went up with. Going up with the guild hall. Hasn't switched over to any resource yet. We'll take a look over at his opponent, MarineLord, now stacking up 1,000 gold. Oh no, it's actually 1,000 food on his guild hall. Terrible, terrible mistake right there from MarineLord. That's a feels bad, man. For anybody wondering, you want to have this bad boy on one of these 3 resources. Ideally gold, ideally stone. And the reason why is because food is so easy to come by. MarineLord now going to be continuing to harass this gold mine. Spear's now going to be moving in and looking to probably get just one attack off. Not really. From behind now, the cavalry charge begins, and it looks like GUA is actually going to have a pretty significant mass advantage here. The Royal Knights managing to meet the Royal Knights of his enemy. Veteran archers continuing to fire off at the hardened spearmen on the back line. But it looks like GUA's mass continues to overwhelm despite him being up in the same age. And now the horsemen going to be able to actually connect with his opponent. And these are where the real damage starts to come in. Royal Knights looking to escape as the spears are getting on top of it. And GUA's micro against MarineLord is actually proving to be quite decent here. I'm very impressed that he's able to come out on top with this combination. MarineLord manages to pull back up towards the north and regroup with his units, but at the same time he's just got his tail between his legs wagging like crazy because he's got horsemen hitting him. Villagers coming in now to do a little bit of a quick wall. GUA taking a note out of Mito's book and looking absolutely beautiful when he does it, blocking off his enemy, and GUA says, see you later, mate. Good luck with the next push. Very nice trap from GUA, and I am definitely impressed with his play right now. I got shivers down my spine. Wow. That was good stuff. GUA looking on top form right now. Continuing to use these villagers up here towards the north. I'm so impressed right now with GUA. That is like, he is playing against one of the best StarCraft 2 players in the world, and he is absolutely kicking it with him. Villagers in the middle of the map. Gonna have a bit of a difficult time. GUA actually just running his villagers away. Gonna be running into some knights, unfortunately. Gonna be taken down. Ram looking to get in on the action as well, but these villagers will be going the way of the dodo. And now towards the north, a monastery coming out for MarineLord as well, so not going to be forgetting about those relics. We'll tune in with GUA and see exactly what he's up to, what his line of sight looks like. And I love these walls coming in from GUA. GUA really using walls quite tactically, just using it to sort of segment off parts of the map and prevent that sort of mobility from coming through. So obviously his opponent is going to be able to come through this direction, but not going to be able to come through the more straight through direction. Gonna force him to path around. And MarineLord getting out plenty of spears of his own right now, coming down towards this tower. He knows that there is a juicy prize inside, so he's doing his best to try and finish it off. An actual ram gonna be coming down, so I suspect he's actually looking to just avoid losing too many units. But GUA being 100% on the ball at this point and says, you know what? We're just gonna do a runner. We're gonna run away from the restaurant. We're not gonna pay GUA at the same time counter-attacking, taking out a couple of archery rangers. Apologies for not spotting that one. GUA doing quite well on this front. Looking like he's almost getting snared here. His units are running so slow, but it is just the classic enemy units. Now we do spot these spears coming out. Doing a little bit of damage, and GUA in a bit of a difficult spot. He's getting attacked from multiple angles. Got to be careful. He is gathering up stone, so maybe potentially able to castle up right here or keep up right here. But he is undoubtedly getting a lot of attack notifications from every angle. Sitting up on 112 villagers now. We'll check in with his opponent, MarineLord, sitting up on 130 at the moment. So he continues to scale ahead. We see that 1,700 point lead at the moment and stacking up plenty of resources there. MarineLord letting his macro slip a little bit. We'll take a look exactly how many military production buildings he's got. He's got 7 stables out, so absolutely plenty. Three archery rangers and 5 barracks. He's sitting on max population right now. 23 minutes. Very impressive from MarineLord. And continuing to push in on multiple angles. GUA with a nice little quick wall again. Coming in, preventing the survival, or preventing the death of these villagers rather. But he's probably going to need to evacuate them even further away from that dance floor. And now the siege workshop going to be coming out from GUA. Nothing in it at the moment. More raids coming in, and really MarineLord doing a great job of just microing on all different fronts. I suspect there was probably a boar out there that GUA's just quickly finished off. And now GUA in a bit of a difficult spot. MarineLord continuing to push in. A lot of villagers out here on very long distance farms. I suspect there probably needed to be a mill in here that hasn't been built just yet. And GUA in a bit of a difficult spot. He's down on 146 population, and now we begin to see MarineLord taking over the game, and it all comes down to that third TC. It all comes down to that third TC. I really like his timing in this game. I really like the way that he's played it. His entire strategy from the get-go has been incredibly impressive. Just the fact that he's opened with that early aggression. He spotted that his enemy was on that early stone, and he said, you know what, I'm going to punish this. And that's exactly what he did. And then using that tempo that he gained from that early punishment, enabling himself to go up to that third town center on the back line, and now is beginning to convert that into this final death push that continues to move in. A keep going to be going up. Got to be careful. It almost looked like a bit of a doubt keep going up, or a doubt castle going up. No face on the front of it, unfortunately. That battering ram going to be able to continue working away. A very conveniently placed battering ram. I will say that much. If you've ever wanted a battering ram to be placed underneath a castle while it's building, then that is the successful desire right there. Going to continue right now mining this stone outcropping. We see the GUA sitting on about 500 stone at the moment. These units going to continue to move around this wall, this quick wall undefeated. More siege units all around the back here, and MarineLord really looking all over the top of GUA at this point. So despite GUA having those effective trades, and look how many... Excuse me, look how many places GUA is under attack from right now. Losing a little bit of my words there. Apologies. He's just I almost I almost lost my breath. I'm like, hold on a minute. He's under attack from like 17 different locations. He's got spears in his base raiding him. He's got absolutely no food. 112 villages, only 25 military. Compare that over to his opponent, MarineLord, who's now going to begin dropping a keep in the middle of the map and sits on a very comfortable 4,500 wood and 190 population. Now reaching up to that Imperial Age. We'll take a look which landmark he went up with. He did indeed go with the school, or the College of Artillery. And the College of Artillery going to be pumping out those Royal Artillery units. They are 20% more deadly than their non-royal counterparts, but Mangonel is going to be coming out now for GUA. And a little bit concerning right now because he does have this keep up, but it's not in the most defensible position for these gold mines. Ideally, you'd like to have it in front of them, but we see the crossbows and, or rather, Arballetrie and veteran archers going to be coming in. We hear those Mangonels going off, and look at that beautiful damage. You wouldn't see Nest of Bees doing damage like that. No, 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 not at all. Nest of Bees would still be sitting there twiddling its thumbs like, I don't know who to fire at. That was my French Nest of Bees, apparently. So, anyway, we continue. We digress. More. Look at this. Just single unit raids happening at 26 minutes into the game. He's like, you know what? I'm just going to send a random horseman along this wood line and see if I can pick up any units. At the same time, more horsemen going to be sieging this down as well. And, like 2 horsemen now coming across the map. Beautiful gold mine here. I'd love to see him throw down a castle on this just to prevent any potential raids. Another gold mine up here towards the north. Maybe even throw down a castle on that. But now we see GUA putting in a bit more of a defensive, a bit more of a reasonable castle here. A bit more of a reasonable keep. Getting some nice shots with his mangonels onto these archers. Let's see if we get a nice little split out of MarineLord here. Moving up in underneath them. Tries to get out a shot, and we've got ourselves a Woolalol. They come on in, and it looks like there's actually no units left. This is one of the best Woolalols I've ever seen. MarineLord not losing any units, but actually nice micro here from GUA. He's gonna split up the mangonels, heal up the first one so it doesn't die to the archers, and every single unit does eventually die. MarineLord still ahead significantly though, sitting up right now on about a 3k score lead for himself, so very nice. We do see those royal cannons going to be coming out, as well as a couple of siege upgrades going to be happening at the front. So he's got the siege works increasing the health as well as their ranged armor, and also getting those greased axles in, which is going to be increasing the speed that they move in at. So getting all of his upgrades and looking pretty darn decent at this point in time. I do like these early, or these aggressive siege workshops. I do suspect that we're probably going to even see him maybe get a sprinkled out. Otherwise, the alternative is a culverin. They're a little bit more expensive, those culverins, costing an extra 600 gold and an extra, or rather 600 gold and 400 wood. So quite expensive. But I feel like this entire game, despite GUA's walls, MarineLord has had units inside the base of GUA, and that is absolutely wild to me. He's had walls upon walls upon walls upon walls upon walls everywhere, and MarineLord's like, I don't mind the walls. I'll still get around them. Mangonel's going to be getting some decent damage onto this Royal Cannon. Royal Cannon now looking to focus down the Mangonels, but the Mangonels surviving with 20 HP, getting their shot out and actually blasting through that. Couple of cavalry or veteran horsemen now getting up on top of this, and the classic Keep Mangonel combination looks to save GUA for a couple minutes longer. And it looks like a difficult spot for him. 7,000 wood at the moment for for MarineLord. And I guess the question is, what can he really do in this position? He's got 64 farmers, right? 64 farmers. What does he do? And I really feel like he just takes all of these villages and just brings them over here. And that's exactly what he's doing. This is exactly what he needs to do. He's still got 32 villages on, on wood out there. Just chopping away, and really, I feel like 6,000 wood's probably enough. You're not going to need any more than 6,000 wood for the moment. You can always transition villages back to wood, but ideally you want to get them on some other resource. But keep in mind, he is still almost max at this point, and going to continue just making those trash units at the moment. We actually see archers, horsemen, and spears. You don't see any other unit, just horsemen, archers, spears, just making trash at this point. So none of those gold-heavy units. Players continuing to fight it out. We'll take a look over at GUA's base and see more horsemen running behind. Mangonel's shot right on top of the Springald, manages to survive, and more Springald's going to be coming out. GUA realizing that the counter to the Mangonel is Springald, and the counter to the Springald is the Springald. So very effective, thought process right there from GUA. Another Springald out on the front. And MarineLord looking like he's in a pretty damn commanding lead at this point. Keep still sitting out here. No cannon emplacement on it just yet. And now we've got that elite horseman upgrade coming in. I love that he's gone for elite horseman rather than elite knight. Now, he may have gone for elite knight. Let's check in on one of his stables and see. He's actually, wow, he's gone for elite knight. Gosh, this guy's made of gold, it seems. Impressive economy from him for going for elite horseman and elite knight. Has he got, he doesn't have veteran, or he's got, I wish I could see what was in production right now. There's no way for me to see what's in production right now, but I suspect he's probably got the elite archer coming through as well. At the moment, just a veteran archer. We'll check, actually, if I check on one of his archery ranges towards the front here. Okay, so he doesn't have elite coming through, because then it wouldn't be there, I suspect. 2 cannons going to be coming out. We've got a cannon. No royal cannons, actually. So not opting to use the College of Artillery, just using these forward ones instead. They're not going to do that extra 10% damage. I think the College of Artillery gives them an extra 10% damage. Let's double check. No, it's 20% more damage, actually. Wait, if it's 20% more damage, these should be doing 240 damage. But they were only doing 220, and the reason I know that is because a Mangonel's got 240 HP, and they actually had 220, they had 20 HP left. So, is that bugged? They might be bugged. We'll have a look and see if Royal Cannons are actually bugged, or whether the College of Artillery just needs to have its tooltip updated. But, they should actually be able to one-shot those Mangonels on the backline, and they definitely didn't. So yes, these are indeed Royal Cannons with their, or these are indeed cannons rather, with 200 siege, but their Royal counterparts should actually have 240 siege. Now those elite horsemen going to be moving in, pushing in, fighting against some of those veteran spears. He's got to be careful. These aren't as strong as the knights. And look at that beautiful micro there over from his opponent. Mangonel going to be surviving, but not for very long. Knights now going to be moving in and fighting against those spearmen. Plenty of veteran archers on the back line. And a lot of horsemen out here right now fighting in amongst it. MarineLord in a pretty decent position. We just hear all of those units coming out right now. And now the Wallalol comes down. It looks like it's probably going to be taken out. It does get taken out. He can go and pick this up again if he's got a second monk. Go say good day again. Bring that over a little bit more. But unfortunately, the keep going to be going down for Give You Anxiety. He's down about 4,000 score at this point, and it looks difficult for him. He's going for a little bit of a counter raid on the back line. We do see more elite horsemen going to be coming out for his opponent, and MarineLord's in a decent spot. We do see that fire upgrade coming in. I don't know exactly what it's called. Ballistics, maybe? I'm not sure exactly what it's called, but GUA actually bowing out right there. Despite being down about halfway score, he managed to stay in the game for that long, so very well played to him. MarineLord looking continually impressive. I look forward to seeing what he can pull out in Genesis. If you're watching this on YouTube, I hope that you've enjoyed it, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.